stuck in the hospital, I figured this would be a good opportunity to do Chinese healthcare. A little bit of background. I have a bacterial infection I have for the past few days, so they put me on an IV drip of penicillin, and this is my last IV drip. I've been to a bunch of Chinese hospitals in the time that I've been in China. Everything from major surgery on my shoulder, I have 9 screws and 2 pins in my shoulder, to sicknesses and colds and flus and things like that. So I've had a lot of experiences in a lot of different hospitals, everything from the rural podunk backwoods hospital to the higher and nicer hospitals in Hong Kong and Shenzhen. But this one is a good middle of the road hospital. It's kind of new. It still has some of the isms, China isms, that I can help you to understand what healthcare is like in China. So let me finish my IV drip, and I'll walk you around and give you a little bit of a tour of a Chinese hospital. Chinese hospitals can provide you with 2 types of remedies to your illness. If you want, you can get the typical American style of medicine, acetaminophen and all those kind of things, and they will give them to you in these areas here. But there's also an area here that is designed specifically for herbal medicines, and you have all sorts of different herbs, natural things. You see these bags here? Those bags are full of different groups of material waiting for people to pick them up. These are their prescriptions. In each one of those pockets there's a different sort of herbal medicine, whether it's a mushroom or a leaf or some sort of dried object that can be crushed up, mixed up, and then placed into these bags. And then with every one of those bags there's instructions, whether you cook it with tea, or you have it hot, or you have it twice a day, or you steam it or eat it. I don't know. There's probably a million different ways you can have that Chinese medicine and actually take your prescription. Out of that room you have this really interesting smell, and it permeates the entire lobby of this hospital. It's very natural. It's almost like dried bark, I think. And actually I've had that medicine before, and I remember how it tastes. It doesn't taste very good. On the other side you have the typical Western style of medicine, where they give you the pills and the advice on how to take it, and that's where all my medicine is coming from. But hospitals in China are really growing to become more advanced. A lot of these kiosks here, for example, where people can come with their little ID, Chinese ID card, as well as their medical ID card, and then they can put in all their information and configure whatever appointment they might want. For example, the first step when you come to a Chinese hospital is going to the front desk and saying what your problem is. So the first thing you do, you go to the front desk or that kiosk and you say, I'm sick, I need to go to somebody for my nose. And then you put it into the computer, or you tell the person, and they give you a ticket to go to the doctor that specializes in the nose, and then you go to that doctor. I think this whole area is on lunch break, which is convenient because I can kind of talk about it without having so many people. It's one of the weird things about right now. Normally Chinese hospitals are crazy busy with a ton of people, but I don't see so many people right now, so I'm kind of free to talk about it. This is the 3rd clinic area. So after you go to the front desk and get your ticket, you come here and you meet with the doctor. Now what would happen is that screen right there would pop open with your name and say the doctor's ready to see you. But nobody waits for their name to be called. They simply go to the front desk where the doctor is and they start talking. Now each of us, when we come to the Chinese hospital, has a blue book like this. This is our diary, you would say. So it has all of our problems, everything that we've ever had wrong with us. Or like me, maybe you keep losing this and they keep having to start over again. But my book has the last couple of visits in it. You take this book into the room where the doctor is and you put it on their desk. You have to put it as close as you can to the doctor's face, because there's probably going to be about 10 people in that room all waiting to get checked at the same time. The doctor basically takes whatever book is on the top as the next patient in line. And when I say line, I'm pretty much say in the group, because when you're in that room, you're surrounded by everybody else that is waiting to get checked up. As far as the variety of things that can get done at a Chinese hospital, I would say that it's pretty complete. I've had MRI and CAT scans done here on a number of occasions, and the machines they use are extremely high quality. Another interesting thing about a Chinese hospital is in its simplicity. When you come and you check in at that front computer, you can almost walk right in to see the doctor, or walk right into the line of people that are seeing the doctor. I know in America you always have the time that you have to wait in the doctor's office before the doctor can come and see you. But you actually do in China. You go to the doctor and you say, hey, this is my problem. How are you going to help me? And then he'll give you the next step in the process. Oh, you need to get the next thing checked, or this next thing checked. So for example, it's up to you to take the next step and go to the laboratory and drop off your sample, or for you to go and get to the blood drawn section and pull the ticket for you to go and get your blood drawn. One thing that is kind of nice in China is that English is pretty popular. There's seems to be, in every hospital I've been to, always the chance to understand what each section of the hospital is, and you can kind of find yourself around pretty easily. You can find that you get a comparable quality of care as you might get in the States, and you'll get what you need taken care of. It might be a little bit of a different process, but I've always found that they offer solutions to your problems.